all for coming tonight. And thanks to Pedro, who's now a veteran of TimesTalks. This is about, I think, our third conversation with you, so I really appreciate you coming back with us. And
here I am.
I'm going to talk mostly about the new film. I asked Emma and Adriana, before we got here tonight, to pick a film that had a lot of influence on them. Emma picked Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. So what do you love about that film and that scene?
Well, it's about love, no?
Absolutely.
You think that you want to escape, but it's not the truth. You want to stay.
It's such an important scene in the film. Do you remember what it was like shooting that scene on the day?
Oh yeah, I remember perfectly well when we shoot this sequence. You know, I'm glad the audience just received it with such a joy. Now this couple with Antonio and with Victoria, they were really incredible. Because they behave really, for these kind of sequences, sometimes more erotic than this, they were so free, so generous, and so warm, and so authentic that I really love when I see them doing this. I feel very proud of them.
Yeah.
I wonder, this film, when it came to the United States, set off a firestorm of controversy. It sort of led to, it was initially rated X, right? And it led to the rating NC-17. It was actually a very important film in the history of American cinema and the way films get screened in the United States.
They decided to mark with an X, and it was pretty unfair. Miramax was the distribution company at the moment of Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. Just suggest me to sue the MPAA. It was a very uncomfortable moment for me because I have to defend the movie in terms that they were not cinematic. And so it was not a nice way to talk about the movie. The MPAA said there was a love-making scene that they thought that it was for real. And I remember in one interview in the ABC that I asked directly to the journalist, why do you think that there is any reason that you understand that demonstrate that should be an X movie? And remember that was very, I was shocked at that moment. Then he says that, well, we are afraid that people, young people can imitate Antonio Banderas and start just attacking and kidnapping girls. Mm-hmm. And so it's a kind of reason that I was like, I remember I said, well, when I make a movie, I'm thinking, I'm thinking about a regular audience. If someone tells me, your movies will be released only in prisons or in psychiatric places, I will tell you that I will be aware to tell another kind of stories, but I can't. Can you imagine that I cannot think that you are a psychopath, all of you?
So we'll pivot to the new film, Julieta. It's lovely and it's a real departure if you haven't seen it yet. But it's based on Alice Munro's short stories, and the 3 short stories that you figured out how to combine in one script.
The first reason it was because the 3 stories have the same protagonist, but they are actually completely independent. Alice Munro wrote about 3 ages of this lady, Julieta. So once that I mixed the 3 stories, I was not very comfortable to make it in English.
And at this point, you'd written the script in Spanish, and we're planning on then translating it.
Yeah, but I thought after the beginning to make it here, so I wrote it in Spanish, and it was a translation into English. But I didn't get the feeling that I was ready to do it.
And originally, as I hear the story, you were thinking of just one actress for the role, and then through the production decided to cast 2 actresses. So I'm wondering at what point did you make that decision? The original actress, when it was going to be an English adaptation, was possibly going to be Meryl Streep, right?
I try not to name Meryl Streep in this because she didn't make it in any way. But anyway, I answered that in Cannes Film Festival. Now it's late, just to avoid it. So I was Estaba en la promoción de La piel que habito en Nueva York
I was working on the premiere of The Skin I Live In here in New York,
y ya tenía escrito el primer borrador.
and I already had the first draft.
Quedé con ella, yo ya la conocía y quedé con Meryl Streep en el hotel.
And I already knew her, and I met Meryl Streep at the hotel.
Ella conocía ya las historias
And she already knew the 3 stories.
y le apasionó la idea de que trabajáramos juntos.
And she was very drawn to the idea of working together.
No sé si estaba interpretando o si era sincera.
I'm not sure if she was sincere or was she was just play acting. And because I feel so much respect and admiration for Meryl Streep, I felt that if she did do the Juliet character, that she should do all the stages of Juliet.
But once I decided to make it into Spanish, then I thought to divide the character into 2 actresses.
It works incredibly well, but I've got to imagine that it's an unusual request for an actress when you're told, I'm offering you this part, and I'm also offering it to another actress, so you're both going to play the same role but at different times.
I remember that you called me talking like, but are you sure we're gonna play Julieta? Yeah. They told me, yeah, I'm gonna play Julieta like you, but we're gonna...
Pero no podíamos decir
No,
nada.
but it was a secret. And I remember that I told her, okay, we can see each other, maybe we can talk about Julieta. And Emma told me, hey, stop. Yeah, we were gonna see
We have a
Pedro.
director.
And then when Pedro brought us together, then I realized that, yeah, he was gonna be the director. And we were trying to create Julieta, but Julieta was already created. And we were just, okay, we're gonna be relaxed and quiet, and we're gonna keep, our control.
But really, I mean, what I wanted, it was the spirit of the character, to be sincere and natural and just to communicate the main part of the character and of the situation.
You've talked about Hitchcock being a major influence on elements of this film. Can you talk a little bit about how you interweave the influence of Hitchcock?
Yo creo que Hitchcock para mí es como el padre del cine.
For me, Hitchcock is like the father of cinema.
Es muy difícil huir de su influencia en general.
In general, it's just very hard to escape his influence.
Yo creo que está en el subconsciente o en el consciente de casi todos los directores.
It's either in the subconscious or really the consciousness of every director.
Aunque también tiene relación con extraños en un tren, hablando sobre culpabilidad, también es adecuado hablar de eso.
So it also has some links to Strangers of the Train, especially the theme of guilt.
De todos modos, cuando uno empieza a rodar, aunque tengas muchas referencias cinematográficas, pero la realidad es que tienes la impresión de estar haciéndolo por primera vez. Desaparecen casi todas las referencias.
But it's also true that once you start shooting, even if you have all these references disappear and you feel as if you're doing it for the first time.
Tonally, this film is such a departure, and I wonder if it being your 20th film, it being sort of a landmark number, if you felt like that, if that influenced at all the idea to do something so different. You said that you consider this film more a drama and an effort to get away from melodrama.
Sí, yo creo, o sea, siempre califico la película en cuanto a género como drama, un drama sobrio y austero, y no como melodrama, que es un género que ya he visitado anteriormente.
Yes, it's true. I do think of this particular film as a drama, as a very sort of sober and austere drama, rather than melodrama, which is what I have done in the past.
Tal vez porque justamente el melodrama es un género que ya he visitado con frecuencia y la propia historia me pedía un cambio de tono.
And probably because, yes, melodrama is something that I have done frequently, but the story itself was asking for a different tone.
Yo creo que hay que advertirle al público que yo creo que es la primera película donde no existe el menor sentido del humor.
And I do have to tell the audience that this is probably my first film where there is no sense of humor.
Y es algo deliberado.
And it's something deliberate.
Me pareció que era el mejor modo de contar la historia, la trágica historia de Julieta.
I feel like this was the best way to tell the very tragic story of Julieta.
Pero eso no indica, por supuesto, que no os vais a aburrir en ningún momento.
But this doesn't mean you're going to be bored at any moment.